Mad Hair Society. I'm a psycho cat killer, psycho molly lover. Fuck her with no rubber, let her breathe. With another should've never set us free. Mad Hair Society, I'ma be a king hair. Get my best pair, know my best traits. Let them take shape, better beware when this takes place. Yeah, that your kids ain't safe. Your guns on the real genius, work at play. We don't play. Another Twitter space giveaway is underway, so get ready for the next wave. PK, psycho mollies and the mad hairs, making babies like we don't care. Another airdrop, let them rain down. When they touch down, go from the top 10 to the #1 spot. Best believe this was a moonshot, smoking moon rocks with some psychonauts. We juggernauts in this game, believe it or not. I was once like you, and then my dreams came true. Psycho kitties, psycho mollies, mad as we here to stay. We ain't going nowhere. Psycho kitties, psycho mollies, mad as we here to party. We ain't going nowhere. I'm a mad head for life. Psycho kitties, psycho mollies, mad as we here to stay. We ain't going nowhere. Psycho kitties, psycho mollies, mad as we hit a party. We ain't going nowhere. I'm a mad head for life. NFT collector, this a 12th sector. You can't even measure what it took in all the pressure. Now I got my mollies, mad hairs, need some PKs. Tryna sweep the floor, not the leg. Yes, say everybody all aboard. We about to leave the station. Hope you're getting ready for a mad hair invasion. I think you need another PK for your collection. Check out my selection, my most cherished investment. Even when it's bearish, my sentiment still that the project gonna flourish. Psycho kitties, psycho mollies, mad as we here to stay. We ain't going nowhere. Psycho kitties, psycho mollies, mad as we here to party. We ain't going nowhere. I'm a mad head for life. Psycho kitties, psycho mollies, mad as we here to stay. We ain't going nowhere. Psycho kitties, psycho mollies, mad as we here to party. We ain't going nowhere. I'm a mad head for life.
Well, hello. Hello, are we here? We are live. How are we doing? Good, beautiful morning, everyone is doing today. It is me, your host, Vinny Calora. Not your usual host, but I'm here. And we're going to be having a special guest on today. You know, we're going to have, obviously, special guest every podcast episode. But this one's a particularly special guest. And this is a particularly special episode because, one, it's took a long time to happen. And two, you know, I'm really excited to have the guest. I'm always excited to have guests, but you know, this is more than a particular. This is a guest I'm most excited for because I think we share a lot of common similarities, and as you're going to see, now there's going to be a weird thing that you're going to notice, which is you might even notice some visual changes when I come to the to the interview. The reason for this is we actually recorded the intro and the giveaway scene separate to when we recorded this interview, because when we recorded this interview, it was actually about a month ago from the recording of this. Reason for that is there was some delays and issues being. It was an awful delays. Obviously, we felt bad for that, so we're going to be giving away a lot more than what we were potentially going to be giving away. You know, we've got 30 plus items to be given away, 5 Kajiu Legends, 3 personal art galleries rooms on the Metaverse. So I'll explain a little bit more on that as coming up, and 22 art gallery template slots. So I'll explain a bit of that later on. But yeah, so there will be. You might notice that change, and we've got some big things coming. We've had a lot of change in the crypto news. I mean, we've had a lot of bad news out there. But guys, whenever I say, you know, take the news for how it is. Me personally, I'm looking at this news and I'm thinking, yeah, it's a load of bad news. But you know what? this is just me, but there's a lot of people out there that can have a lot of more money than we do, and they can control the media, and they can send out certain messages. And you know what? What's good if about it, haven't been able to do that is if you have that accessibility and you can make it seem like the crypto market's doing a lot worse than it really is, then you can make the price drop, which will then in turn make more of these people that had the influence to go in and buy all the crypto while it's low, and then it's going to increase in price. People are going to see it again. It's going to increase in price, and they're going to buy it, and then we're going to make it even increase in price. It's going to happen. It always happens. Anyway, that's one way to start the day. I just really, I guess, let me put this mic here. I just really wanted to say, I guess, along with that, because it's been quite a hectic time indeed, but we've got a great podcast coming up, lots of good vibes. But before we go ahead and do so, I'm going to just explain the art gallery and what's going on with that. So the art gallery is very soon to be released. I wanted to give away a few of the items for the art gallery before it is released, some of the personal rooms and such, just so that I can have a few done for when we do the event on the opening of that. So what these personal rooms actually entail is it's actually a really cool feature. So in this art gallery, it's a public access art gallery. We will be able to walk into the gallery halls, and as you're walking into the gallery halls, you'll see this absolutely amazing structure and all these little teleports, and then you can be like, oh, what happens? You walk over, and then you'll be transported into someone's personal room. In that personal room, they will have customized that room to their specification with the NFTs they have collected. Now, we're going to be giving away NFTs like frames and stuff like that. These are NFTs that you can collect, put together, and customize your personal room. For the time being, the only way for it to be customized is to specification, which is meaning we're going to only be checking who the owner is each month, and then asking them what they want to do to that art gallery room, that personal room, upgrade it. So you can only do upgrades every month, and that's because I have to redesign it to your specification. And we have got a lot of personal rooms, so I need to give myself some time to do that. In these personal rooms, you can customize with any NFTs you want, the NFTs that you own. You can choose to put what furniture in there. And not only that, when people come in, they will have a hyperlink option where they can press it, and it will take them to your portfolio, and they can buy the NFT directly from that art gallery room. And they'll be like, oh, I like that painting. Let me have a look. Oh, I can buy it right now. Oh, it's only this much, blah. And then they can buy it right there and then. It's a really cool feature, and I think it helps people get more immersed into the art that they are buying. Along with that, we have the art gallery template slots. Now, how that works is, as well as the personal rooms, we have so many pictures of beautiful art around the entire hall, walking through and up the stairs, and it's amazing. So there's like 978 in the main hall alone. And I felt we need to do some giveaways, obviously, to fill this place up. I need to get some more beautiful NFTs in there. So how that will work is your NFT will win. It will go in that place. There won't be a hyperlink, and the reasoning for that is because if I had a hyperlink for 978 NFTs, forever changing, it would be a lot of work, for a very small amount of appreciation. Anyway. So the art gallery, it's exciting stuff. I'm excited to announce that it will be coming very soon. But you know what's coming up soon? Let me just... there we go. Let me just... I don't know what I've just knocked over, but I just knocked something over. I've caused an issue, and I've jumped on my chair. Right, guys, let me explain. Fuck it, I don't need the glow sticks. We're having a party. It's the 1 year anniversary coming up, and we are having a party. And, well, what are we doing for this party? Well, I'll tell you what we're doing. We're going to be doing a lot of different things. We're going to be doing music. We're going to be doing music. We're going to be doing comedy. We're going to be doing talent. We're going to be doing all a variety of different types of events. We're going to do a maze, some snowball stuff. Could be watching some Christmas films. There's going to be a lot of stuff to going on there. We're still in the planning, the preparation stage for that. But please stay aware and be tuned in, because that is going to be quite a large event, and I can guarantee you there's going to be some giveaways, especially for one specific NFT that I have been very excited. Pardon the voice breaks. It's early in the morning for me, guys, so I'm still waking up. Please allow that. Please allow that for me. But I'm sorry if I keep getting out my chair. By the way, I'm a bit of a fidgety person. I like to get comfortable, when I'm sitting down. So yeah, please don't mind that, But as it comes for the giveaway, I'm going to be giving away the final and the 10th edition of the Psychokitty Policia badge. If you're not aware what the Psychokitty Policia badge is, well, the Psychokitty Policia badge is actually something that is very close to this community. We had Policia badge created a long time ago, and I ended up creating a 3D version of that, and that 3D version that can be brought into the Metaverse, like we see here. And I think I just knocked over my mic, so I'm sorry if that was very loud for you. I'm sure I'll pay the punishments for that. Hello. And I'm back. But no, so the police badge, as we can see, it's over here. I keep punching things. I'm telling you, this VR is awful. I'm going to break my monitor soon. I keep punching. The police badge is over there. As we can see, it's right there. What this is it can be taken. You can, once you have the NFT, you have access to these files. You can bring this to any metaverse that you want to take it to. You want to show off your police badge and stuff like that. You can also have it CNC machined. So if you wanted someone to have it reproduced in real life, that badge, you can have that CNC machined with the files that I provide to you once you own the NFT. It's also just a cool item, It's got a lot of sentimental value, and the floor price, well, it sits at a staggering $25,000. Fetching very nice offers and getting some nice sales. So please be aware of that and be informed. But yeah, this big event, and I am excited for this event because this event has been long awaited. It's the 1 year anniversary, and you can imagine I'm going to be giving away a lot of stuff for that. Yeah, I mean it was my birthday recently, so I felt in a generative mood, and that's why I'm already giving away a load of gifts. But I'm telling you, if you think this is a lot, wait till you see what's coming up in the future. But anyway, on to the main portion of the show. But before that, I just remembered it's the World Cup, and Crypto.com is sponsoring it. So please check out. They have got a great thing going on right now on Crypto.com's website called the Ball of Fortune. It's an absolutely amazing promotion they're doing over there. And well, at least for me anyway, because I always had an addiction to match attacks. Maybe you don't have that over in America, but it's like baseball cards, but for football players. And they're doing a similar thing with that, but for the World Cup. And I was like, well, might as well. You got to sign up, and I think it's $100. You have to spend $100 on a cryptocurrency via the Crypto.com app. It will then give you one NFT, and you can do a max of 5 NFTs a day, and you can get some absolutely amazing perks. I mean, there's one chance is an all-paid expenses trip to the final. That's over in Qatar. And there's also an upgrade where you get to upgrade any card without the cost to an obsidian black card. That is an extremely rare card. You get some extremely amazing benefits from it. So we'll like to see what's coming up with that. But, drum roll, it is the time we've all been waiting for. It is the most particular special moment. We're going to be moving over to the interview portion. And I'm going to tell you now, even though this has been some time since I recorded this interview, it was absolutely amazing to record this interview. I'd just like to say and I'm going to butcher your name. I'm sorry about this. Roel Weber. I tried my best. Don't say I didn't. Is going to be doing is an absolutely amazing guest, and the passion he has for his project really does show, and you'll see that in this interview. And we do go off topic a lot, but that's what we want in this podcast. We want a nice conversational podcast. We're not trying to sell anything here. We're just trying to talk, try and share the information, and we're not trying to push if you want to purchase something or do nothing. We just want to show the characteristics behind the creators of these projects, the team behind them, and their true passions. That's why we put them in the hot seat. We like to keep them in here, boil them up, start with a conversation, and that's when we hit them with the hard facts. But if you're not already aware, you probably saw it in the title. Our guest for today is the wonderful Kajiu Legends. Yes, Kajiu Legends. An absolutely amazing job with absolutely amazing perks. And yeah, well, you're going to see what's coming up. Well, I guess I'll see you later, because for now, I'm going to be off. You probably see me again in like 2 seconds talking to Roel, but that is past Ollie. I'm going to be back again when we're going to be doing the giveaway and the outro. So stay informed, stay tuned, and enjoy the interview. Goodbye.
Yeah,
Roel good?
rule is good.
Am I saying it correct? Because I might be butchering that with my
It's
northern accent.
No, it's fine. I found out really early on that as soon as we started doing business outside of the Netherlands, that my name was pretty crap for for most of the folks outside of the Netherlands. But even like Germans, which is our one of our closest neighbors, they struggle with it. So it's a typical Dutch name, and the best pronunciation is a rule, like
Rule.
the example I often say is like one ring to rule them all, and that's basically the best pronunciation. But it doesn't really matter that much. So, but rule is fine.
Well, I'm gonna probably say it many different times, many different ways, but I understand you. That man, I understand that completely. I mean, there's a reason I changed my name to Vinny. As some of you know, my real name is not Vinny. Vinny just rolls off the tongue, and I was like, you know what? I've always liked casino and Italian mafia films and all that stuff. So I was like, you know what? Let's just create a fake name, Vinny Colora. Yeah, there's no other Vinny Colora in the world. Just so you know, it is a completely made up name.
Yeah, I thought it was like some sort of Italian gangster movie that I missed. But I've seen Casino, and I was like, "There's no Vinny Colora in Casino."
No. I mean, I completely made it up myself. I was like, what sounds really Italian American, man? What sounds really that? I was sat there, Vinny what? Vinny Colora? Originally it was Vinny Calmora, but then I was like, you know what, Vinny Colora rolls off the tongue, but everyone always says to me, oh, Vinny Cholera, yeah? And I'm like, nah, shit, well, clearly I spelled that wrong, haven't I, if everyone keeps calling me Cholera. Man,
But the reason when we were thinking about good names to name our daughter, I told my wife that it didn't really matter that much to me, but my only demand was that it was like easy to pronunciate in the rest of the world. So we ended up on Olivia, which is basically a very easy name to say in the whole world. So the curse of the Dutch names in my family has been broken.
That's amazing, man. And that's actually quite funny because that's quite similar to my actual name, man. Which you could probably guess what my actual name is. I'm not going to say it because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that do want my name, but I'm very intense with my privacy these days, man. The amount of people that somehow can find my phone number, it's honestly insane. You probably understand. Maybe you're a bit more safe than I am. I'm just always.
I mean, it's one of the things that we started thinking about when we started with the project. Is that okay? Are we going the anonymous way or the doxed way? And we ended up going doxed for most of the team members, at least the ones that are in the spotlight, because I think it's important if you want to support a project and you are like one of the co-founders of the project, that people know exactly the background and what they are buying into, I guess.
Yeah, no, I mean, to be honest, man, your project's absolutely amazing. I mean, it minted out, if I'm not mistaken, like it very quickly on crypto.com, and then I didn't follow it all the way with your website. I kept on checking up on it, but I believe, yeah, it completely minted out, did it not?
Yeah, we did.
And that's amazing stuff. I mean, guys, if when we first came out, we came out in the peak of NFTs, and as we've seen on Crypto.com, not all NFTs are minting out these days. A lot of them don't mint out, and only the real special ones are minting out, and that really does show something, man. It shows the how much you've worked on this, and looking at how much you've marketed it, how much you worked on the actual promoting of this. Not you didn't just come in this thinking, oh, Crypto.com's going to give me a sellout. We're going to actually have to work on this. You really did work on this, and it really shows, man. And if someone's willing to do that, I really do think that they're willing to go the way with it. You know, a lot of these NFTs out there, guys, will happily just promote quickly on the first part, and then that's it. It's all over with. But look, right, this is how long gone now? The project 2 weeks, I believe.
Yeah.
2 weeks, and we're still promoting, man, and that's an amazing stuff. Still talking, and you know that is some good stuff, man. Because a lot of these projects out there, they will just like, oh right, we've done our thing now, we can just leave it for a while. But no, that's I can see that's not how you roll, man. That is not your pardon the pun, man.
But it's no, but it's I think it for when I thought just before we launched, I thought, okay, after the launch, I will probably it will probably be in somewhat calmer waters, and that's for some part that's also true, because we were working 14-16 hour a day with the whole team just before the launch. It was quite hectic. But on the other hand, because we sold out, we have almost we basically made a promise to our holders, and I need to make good on that promise. So we are very
no, 100%, and you're sticking to that, man, and you really are sticking to that promise. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, there's a lot of these also projects that I remember I bought into one. I'm not going to mention names, obviously. I'm not here to talk on other projects, but I've bought into projects to seeing like, oh, they've got the gaming side, and I love the gaming side, man. I really do love the gaming side. I mean, it is one of my main passions, you know. And when I saw that you already had one brought out before it was even released, I was like, wow, well, that just shows, you know, the commitment and level of commitment to this project, man. And I really do want to know more on this, because I've only actually seen and heard of the first game that you brought out, which was the one that was the little teaser, I believe, or that was brought on with the just before the drop of the project, and I've tested out, and I'm not gonna lie, I got very frustrated very quickly. I was like, I was sat there and I was like, how am I so bad at this? I cannot be so bad at this. I need to be better at this. Better. Come on, you've got this. Go through. You've got this. And I kept pushing myself, and I'm sat there and I'm doing this and I'm not gonna lie, sounds quite embarrassing, but over 2 hours of playing the game, and I'm not joking when I say 2 hours, I really was there for 2 hours, and the highest score I got was 10.
Okay, that's quite low for 2 hours, but okay. No, it's we that was something that I mean, we knew that the game was good. So that's basically why we wanted to have like a game for the whole promotion and minting process, or whitelisting process, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
The space is pretty competitive, and you need to stand out with the project as much as you can. And we thought, okay, basically half of the team, they are game designers. So let's make like a small mini game that shows off our skill and ties into the storyline, and just show what we can do. And it worked even better than we anticipated, because as you know, you needed in the end, you needed a score of 25 to be placed on our whitelist.
Yeah, I frustratingly do know that. I frustratingly do know.
We saw that people were they got the code for the whitelisting process, and basically they were done, and they were still, yeah, I'm done, but I'm just gonna play the game again. And I was like, why? Uh, it's not needed. You got you're done already. Yeah, but I want to keep playing the game. And this is what the team does very well. If we see that something works, we'll just go all in. And we saw that the mini game was working quite well, and we added like partnership after partnership. So we found out, and that's basically my only drawback on the whole situation, is that we got in contact with crypto.com when we already were set on a certain course. So that's basically why we had like the sale for a part on crypto.com and for the other part on our own website. Uh, and in the most ideal setup, we would have been in contact with crypto.com earlier and had like the whole collection on there instead of half
Yeah.
as it is now.
No, but I thought it was actually quite ingenious how you did this man. So if I'm not mistaken, this is just an assumption, but the reasoning behind your whole drop and why you didn't release them all at once is because you can do it through your own system. You can actually implement your own types of smart contracts, which Crypto.com's not providing at this current moment in time. And Psychokitties have also had to make their own methods around creating stuff like this, because with your game implementation, I'm sure it's very important that you know which NFTs are owned by who and which NFTs are getting programmed in the game and stuff like that. So when I saw this method, I was like, wow, how do we not think of this? This is a really, really smart idea. And it is. Am I wrong in thinking this?
No, that's true. But we also put a lot of stress on crypto.com, and they were great helping us out because this was basically, I think it was the first time they did something like this.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of talk with crypto.com's developers from the US and from Singapore on how to get this drop done, and get it done where both parties like crypto.com and our own whitelist members are neither of them was like more important than the other one, so we needed to have like both communities happy, and in the end we got it done, but it wasn't easy. I mean, if we now launched a collection on crypto.com in the first place, it was a lot easier to
Yeah,
do.
I can imagine it was not an. I can imagine it was not an easy process for you. I mean, it is a lot of time, and to go into that and to develop the software for that is again shows the level of commitment you have for this project. It isn't just easy. It isn't. You don't see it as an easy journey for yourselves, and you don't see it as like, oh, we've just got to do this and that, and then we're done. But you didn't see it like that, and it really does show the level of commitment to your project. And obviously, times change all the time. But from what I'm seeing, man, is your project is got that level of commitment that I would want in an NFT, and it is amazing how you've done that, and to actually see after the mint, it was even in this market that we're currently in. Um, it went above minting price, which is again great to see, because a lot of these projects now, and even some projects that are absolutely amazing, will still not go above mint, even if they are amazing. It's just the way that some of the buyers are on crypto.com. It can definitely affect the minting after mint price, but it didn't get it too affected on your project, man, and that is amazing to see. And we're all huge fans of crypto.com, I'm sure, because that's why we're here. Why I came here in the first place was I went onto OpenSea, saw how complex this was, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to look for something that I'm a bit more sure in. And obviously, I my original finding of crypto.com NFT, believe it or not, was actually me trying to find like more ways of investing into crypto.com projects, and I'm just actively searching. I didn't even know about NFTs properly. I heard of them, obviously over time, but when I first heard of them, I was not that too interested. And then I saw crypto.com had this thing. I was like, Really, that's really interesting because I'm a huge fan of crypto.com. I've been buying their coins since MCO. I've been going all the way back 5 years, I would say. I think I could be wrong on my timing, but it's been a long time I've been with them, and man, and as as we can see in the background with me right now, we have a crypto.com logo. So it's amazing to have that opportunity, man, to really work with crypto.com, and
Yeah.
I'm sure it felt like that for you, man. They're an absolute huge company, and I believe they are. Not believe, I know they are going to be the number one crypto trading platform um, throughout the next foreseeable future. Anyway, I'm gonna look like I know there's a lot of people that hate it when I go on about crypto.com, but I'm sorry, guys. I have a passion for crypto.com. I really do have a passion for crypto.com, and I'm
No,
sure we all do.
they have been great to us, and we keep continue to work with them. So yeah, the relationship with them has been great. So no complaints on our side.
Yeah. So can I ask, where was the inspiration for your characters? You know, the very caricatures, should I say? Um, they are very interesting, and I do look at them, and I'm wondering, well, everyone has an idea from somewhere. Where did this idea stem from? What was the inspiration behind it?
Well, our artist is a friend of mine, and I've worked with him for I think close to 10 years on different commercial projects.
Hmm.
So we done stuff for Disney together and for Samsung, and so I knew him quite well, and he has like his own character is called Pixel Kaiju, and that's basically the vanilla blue version of the Kaiju Legends design.
Hmm.
Um, and it's we're always talking about getting his Pixel Kaiju brand more exposure,
Hmm.
and we did a couple of games with him and a couple of big gaming platforms.
Hmm.
So NFTs was for us like the most natural way to take the project further along.
Uh,
And
yeah,
um,
I mean, we're seeing a lot more off that, man. We're seeing a lot more off people wanting to push into NFTs, because at the end of the day, NFTs provide something that a lot of people don't understand. Is it provides um, complete control of the brand. You know, the brand can completely control where they want to move, the direction. They don't have their own pushes and motives to where they want to do something else, push out something out a bit quicker, do something like this. When you would have if you went the original route, which is getting sponsors for your game and bringing out the game, and then you'd probably have to do like an early access to bring in more funds, and then we have to do the early access. You didn't have to do that with all with NFTs. NFTs just provide everyone a much better route in. But if I'm not mistaken, now I only just thought of this now, but kaiju is like a Japanese way of if I'm not mistaken, because I believe Godzilla is a kaiju, and
kaiju means basically a monster in
yeah,
Japanese.
yeah, yeah.
A
It's
term from monster, which is quite funny because he called the original blue character, he called it Pixel Kaiju,
mm,
uh, and it's quite funny because the character is small. That's not something that you expect from a Japanese kaiju, and it's drawn as a vector art, and it isn't even pixels. So it's the whole name is basically something that stuck, I guess. So we thought. So we took his brainchild, so to speak, and that basically developed into the Kaiju Legends project.
mhm.
And that's one of the other reasons that for me it's quite easy to keep pushing the project along, because I don't want to disappoint him, and I want to have like the best exposure for the brand. So I have a commitment towards our community and towards our artist to keep pushing the brand and get it keep trying to get to the next level.
Yeah.
So this
No, I mean you really are, man, and to we even see that the mini. I'm going back to the mini game, man, but that it's still in my head, man. I wanted more than 10 wins, all right. I wanted more than 10 points. They was sat there, and I'm thinking. So what is your direction with this project? I've looked obviously a lot into the project, but I really want to hear it from your word of mouth, man. Where is the direction you want to be going with this project?
it's we labeled the project as a crossover between art, story, games, and toys, and that's basically the because our I'm a game designer, so and a lot of people from the company that I work for are game designers because they also make games. Our artist is not only an illustrator, but he's also a professional toy designer. So he designs toys as his day job, which is I thought like game developer was like a rare job, but toy designer is even more rare.
Especially in this day and age, man. It's very rare.
That's true. That's true. But there's still a lot of toys getting produced. So, but it's even harder to get into that market as a professional, I think.
Yeah, no,
So
completely, man, and I can see that with the direction you're going. I mean, the one that fascinates me the most is the game side because, again, I also like the games, man. I absolutely love games, and I really am interested to see where this could possibly go if it continues and continues and continues snowballing, man. You know, you could. I'm not saying we're going to see a Grand Theft Auto 5 of Kajiu Legends, but it would be interesting to see that direction, man. So, what type of style of gaming are you interested in the most? Like, what direction of style of games do you prefer? Do you like platform games? Do you like 2D, 3D? Do you like MMOs? Like, what direction, what type of games do you see Kaiju Legends wanting to go down? Obviously, the games is a very varying. Or do you just plan to do as much as you want because it just depends on how you feel at time? Because obviously, when as game designers, I'm sure you all have different ideas at some different points in time, and then you're like, you know what, we want to move into this direction after this game's finished, and then this. Where do you see this going with the game side?
well, if you and that's basically for the toys and animations as well, just as the games. If I would like to reach a certain level that people know the brand, but don't know that it originated as a Web3 project. I think that's basically the highest form of marketing renown that you can get. So that people walk into a toy store, see a Kaiju Legends toy, and just like the toy for what it is, and not because they are thinking, oh, this is I got an NFT of this or something like that. So, and that basically goes for the games as well. I
Yeah.
mean, obviously. The NFT and the crypto will always like be a big part of the games because it brings like a different layer that you can do something with. But we want to create a game or games, better to say, that aren't like needed an NFT for it to function. So it will we like to reward our most faithful holders, of course. But if you want, I've been in gaming long enough that you need a lot of players to create like a successful game. And that can be done with the amount of holders that we currently have or have, because there won't be any more of the Kaiju Legends Genesis than the 7,777 that we have now. So you need outside players, and you need to reward the holders with something that will give them an advantage, but not in the game itself, if you know what I mean.
No,
Because
100%.
you don't want, if you, for example, create a shooter, not that Kaiju Legends will probably be a shooter, but if you create a shooter, we don't want to have like the one-shot kill guns.
Yeah.
only handed out to holders, and they're basically massacring all the other players
Yeah.
because Kajiu Legends. While that is funny, it's not a real good business model.
No, of
So
course. I mean, there's definitely aspects of how you want to do things. I mean, one game that I've been very fascinated with recently is a game called War Thunder, and that's actually a free to play game. But when we say free to play, obviously free to play is it varies in types of free to play games. I mean, we've seen Clash of Clans, we've seen Clash Royale. I mean, I'm talking just one gaming company here, but with Gaijin, if I'm saying that correctly, I believe they're a Czech gaming company, if I'm not mistaken, and they actually how they implement their free to play aspect is they use premium vehicles, premium accounts, and stuff like that. Could it be possible that you could be moving into that direction and sort of instead of using that aspect of you buy this but the holders will get access to this, is it possible that you could be doing that sort of stuff, or is it it's just obviously this is the what I'm relating it to right now because it's something that I've been so interested in recently, but obviously it can vary and
well,
I'm
you need
interested to know.
I think the most important aspect is your game needs to be fun,
Yeah,
and that's basically if your game isn't fun, in the long term, no amount of NFT or play to earn stuff is gonna save the game,
of course.
so we always first build the game to see, okay, is this a fun game, and are people returning to it, or people keep playing it, and if so, then you can implement stuff like the extra gimmicks or cosmetics that holders can achieve. So it's important to show if you are a Kaiju Legends holder, it's important to show it into a game. But it doesn't need to be the way that you can just buy your way into success.
Hmm.
So there's a fine line to walk, I think. But it starts with the game needs to be fun,
Of course.
and
I mean, fun. At the end of the day, no one wants to. We've seen so many play to earn games, and you know, I think people are just trying to jump on the bandwagon for the sake of jumping on the bandwagon these days, with play to earn games, and a lot of these games are getting designed, and they're just not fun. They're really not fun. I mean, I've seen these games like the greatest game of all time within play to earn aspects. I mean, look at all this adaptive ability, and I'm like it's just not fun. I mean, you're not really rewarding the people. I know you're saying, oh, they're getting reward because they're playing to earn, but the most important aspect is you need to have it fun. I mean, if you want to have it fun, just think of like how much more you're going to enjoy playing to earn, you know. So that comes later on. I mean, at the end of the day, the most important thing is for it to be fun. I mean, looking back on some of my most favorite indie games, for example, is like I don't know if you've heard of it, but I think it's the Blinding of Isaac, or it could be the Binding of Isaac. I could be getting that wrong, but God help me if I've just said one of my favourite games names wrong, but that was a really fun game that I always found interesting. Was this was the concept? I don't know if you've heard of it, but the concept of this was like it was quite a dark tone to it. It had you were a child that was thrown into a basement, and then by your mother, and then you had to like climb through these like levels, going boss to boss, and just shooting these enemies, and then you finally come against your mother, and it's just like. It was a really fun game, and it's still got replayability now, and I think that's another really important part is replayability.
yeah, I mean, the game was, if I'm not mistaken, it was like one of the designers from Super Meat Boy, and he had
Mm.
like it was almost like he was battling his own psychological problems, and
Yeah.
he put it all into the game, and the game itself was quite simple because it was like a simple 2D shooter, but it was very polished, and it played extremely well.
Mhm.
So a lot of players resonated with the dark tones, and the game was very good to play. So
Yeah,
um,
and I think that's another really important aspect is like, um, as you've said, the storytelling part. The storytelling part of the game is a great aspect of the game, and it's always I don't necessarily it doesn't necessarily need to be there for a game to be fun, but it does definitely make the replayability much greater, and it also, you always learn these new things. I mean, another absolute giant, I mean, behemoth of a games company is Bethesda, and you know, Skyrim has the most replayability I've ever played out of any game. You know, I bought that back in 2011, and I'm still playing it back in 2022. It's ridiculous how replayable you can make a game by just having these a great story to it, and just, you know, having this great elements to it. I remember I still play these games now, and I'm like, wait, this existed? I didn't even know this existed. I'm like, it's amazing to have these, like, especially developer Easter eggs, man. And I'm not sure if you're going to go down that route, but having those, like, just those little elements that really just help incorporate yourself into the game, make you feel part of the game, like you've just discovered something brand new, and you're going to go tell the whole world, you're going to put it on YouTube, you're like, look what I've just found out that you can put a bucket over a chicken's head and it will disappear. Yeah,
I think Skyrim is one of my, if you look at my Steam library, I think Skyrim and probably Witcher 3 are my most played games for the amount of hours I put into them both. And I think if you're stuck on a deserted island and you can only take one game with you, the Skyrim is a good pick if you want to keep it entertaining with the whole stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, there's a lot of different types of games. I mean, the gaming world's changing forever, and it's continuously changing. I mean, now we're seeing more VR implemented games, and I've been playing a lot of VR implemented games as well, and that's something I've been stepping into ourselves. You know, I've been stepping into some of that VR game development, and it's such a crazy world. You can even develop games within the VR space now. I'm like, this is a bit weird, man. I'm not a big fan, you know, because I do like the old-fashioned way of just loading up Unity. So Unity is my main way of learning. I'm learning Unreal now as well, but Unity was much more. It just spoke to me a bit, even though it's much more far behind when it comes to development now to Unreal. But there's so many different engines, so many different ways to design a game, and it's forever changing. And we've got all the mobile games are a big thing. I mean, Raid Shadow Legends. Who hasn't heard of Raid Shadow Legends? I mean, it's the sponsor of almost every video. And Raid, if you're listening, I do love your game, by the way. No, I mean, I can't talk crap in any game, man. They all take a lot of time, and they all take a lot of effort. You can really see that developers put their heart and soul into it. DayZ, another game of mine that's an example of a game where you can see the original owner actually losing interest. You know, the original owner of DayZ, I believe his name was Chris something, I can't remember his whole full name, but he actually started on a game called Arma 2. Arma 2 being an absolute. It was originally, I think it was designed as a mil sim for the actual military to test on. You know, and then originally, and then they moved from Arma 2. This guy modded it. I did this thing called DayZ Mod. Played DayZ Mod, and then people started modding DayZ Mod and made DayZ Epoch, DayZ Overpoch, DayZ Overwatch, and then DayZ Standalone came out. And wow, when DayZ Standalone came out, it was such a crap game. I mean, it was so laggy. It was. You could see the intent was there, but the amount of bugs in that game was ridiculous. And now look at DayZ. It's an absolute. It's amazing. Like, it is so amazing to play. It's a completely different game. It really is. And now people can mod onto this, and having that modding capability, I really think helps the developers. But the owner originally left that company, so he took a good portion of the funding and just left the company because he decided he wanted to work on some other things, which is completely fair enough. But it left the developers in a sort of like, where do we go from here? And eventually it did take them a while to figure out where they were going. But now look at them; they're an absolute amazing game. I mean, another one of my games that goes on my top 10 favourites, but that's a multiplayer game, multiplayer survival, and also being a big fan of that. So I have to wonder, what are your like top picks? You know, like in terms of like genres and stuff like that? I mean, I've got hundreds of different genres.
For me, if you look at me personally, I like story-based games. So like solo games like The Witcher.
Yeah.
I'm also like a big fan of the Dark Souls franchise,
Mhm.
uh, and like good Dark Souls clones, so
Mhm.
to speak.
Mhm.
Um, and I still play World of Warcraft.
Oh, I was gonna jump onto that, man. I was gonna jump onto that. I'm glad you mentioned it. World of Warcraft is an absolute amazing game. I mean, it's had its problems as of recently, but I absolutely love World of Warcraft, man. I played Classic, I played it all, and I still I've actually had to not play World of Warcraft in a long time because I find I cannot just play it a little bit. I have to just absolutely play it too much. Like I in a in a polite way, I absolutely bum the hell out of that game. I mean, I play it way too much for my own good. It's an absolute addiction, man.
I can totally relate. I mean, I've played the original World of Warcraft beta.
Hmm.
I was skeptical going in because they already announced that it was like an MMO, and I never played an MMO before. I was a big Diablo player or
Hmm.
fan days, and I was like, why the hell should I pay every a monthly subscription fee if I just can buy Diablo or sort of similar game and then play the hell out of it and basically pay a couple of cents per hour that I'm playing it instead of like a fee. So I was skeptical, but this is like old school Blizzard, where Blizzard could do nothing wrong in those days. And I was like, yeah, but it's still Blizzard. Let's just sign up for the beta. And I was like playing the beta, and I was like thinking, where do I sign up for these people to take my money? And I was like ditching like social events and birthdays, and I was nah, just gonna go home. It's still early, yeah. Big work day tomorrow, blah 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 blah, and then raced back home and started playing World of Warcraft.
Yeah, I can definitely testify to that, man. It is, and if it is an extremely addictive game, and sometimes I'm sat there, I'm like, why couldn't I have like just came up with these ideas, man? When I play some of these games, I'm like, why couldn't I have been the guy that have created this? You know, like it's so amazing. I mean, that comes, I think, the original reason I got into it, even though my whole family was already playing it, my sister was playing it, my two older brothers were playing, everyone who was playing it, they were all playing it, and I was just like, the thing that got me into it though was a South Park episode, Make Love Not Warcraft. And
Yeah,
I loved South Park, and I remember seeing that, and I was like, "This game is the most awesome game of awesome games. I'm gonna play this game right now." And I jumped on. It was completely different to the South Park episode, but I still absolutely loved it, man, and I still play it to this day, man.
I think that's one of the highest honors you can get if you are getting a dedicated South Park episode.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, Crypto.com's even had like a couple mentions, and I'm sure at one point in time they'll probably have a whole episode to get dedicated to that stuff. And at the end of the day, you take it how it is. Some people are like, oh, well, they're already taking the piss. They're not. It depends how you take it, Like at the end of the day, they always take the piss out of everything. They don't have a certain view. They don't. They take the piss out of everything. They take the piss out of everyone and everything.
I think that's also their success story,
Yeah.
because they aren't like too left or too right or stuff like that. They're just making fun of everyone, and if you do that, then you can never be accused of something or siding with
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
couple of something like that. So no, it's I think in just if you are like being targeted on South Park as a brand or person, I think it's basically the highest honor you can get, and you just roll with the punches and say, "Aha, good one."
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it is. You would. I mean, if I was, I don't. I highly doubt right now that I'm ever going to get mentioned. But if Psychokitties ever gets mentioned, the day that comes, I will honestly be in tears because I love South Park. I mean, it's I love edgy humor, and I really do, and I do refrain from it myself because I know I'm not in that position where I can do it, and people are like, "Wait, is he being biased?" Because I will 100% be biased to some views or some other views. But I love South Park, man. I mean, I've sat there and when the way they can just take the piss out of everyone and everything and still be loved by everyone, it's amazing. I love animation. I'm a big fan of that. The story and how smart they are with South Park. They are really smart with that stuff, and you can see that a lot of people these days that have grew up with them, that they've took inspiration from that, and they've actually done their own thing with that. And when I look at our NFTs, for example, they also scream South Park to me. I know sometimes you're like, what do you want about that? It's the fact of the matter is that they've went into that with 100% of their heart, and they believe completely in that. And I can see that about these projects, man. And when you really do believe in your project, it really does show. We've gone completely away from your project though, man, and I feel bad for that. But this is important, guys, because what we're doing is we're wanting to talk on what really we thought about and what we think about really will affect on how we implement our games and our NFTs. I'm speaking for myself. This is, but I'm sure it works the same with yourself. What you've grew up with, what you've seen, and it will really be inspired into your projects that you work on. Even if it's the slightest bit, it is there. It's inevitable that we're going to be taking inspiration from everything we've seen in our life. And
Yeah, but it's that was one of the fun things when we started designing all the different traits, because basically we like I said, we only, when we started, we got like the blue pixel kaiju character.
yeah,
So we come up with like a little bit of backstory to say, okay, how the hell do we get from one kaiju to 7,000 plus kaijus? Another friend of mine is like a children's book author. So I said to him, okay, I got this problem. We have like the kaiju, and there's one kaiju, and we need like to have like 7,000. How do we get there? So he wrote like a small short story that was basically kaiju discovering a portal to another multiverse dimension, and he started to eating some strange mushroom, and then he started like developing. I don't know if you've seen the movie Gremlins.
I've seen Gremlins. Well, I've seen
So
Gremlins.
so basically, we stole like the how Gizmo, like one of the Gremlins
Yeah.
main characters, he can't get water on him after 12 or something like that. It's been a while
Yeah,
since I saw.
I believe it is something like that. They can't also eat any food after a certain amount of time either, or they won't be multiplied.
Something like that, which is also stupid. But so we said, okay, he eats this mushroom, then we have all those goblins on his back, and they start popping out thousands of kaijus, and then we got all those different kaijus. And some of them are good, some of them are bad, and he needs to deal with all of them. Uh, Basically, the premise of the short story, which is still being worked on, because we just took a look at the story a couple of days ago, and we were like, this is really light, so we need a bit of more. It only explains why we got like 7,000 kaijus now,
Yeah.
but story-wise, it needs to be a bit more. But we're still working on that aspect as
You
well.
know,
So,
and
but
sorry, I don't mean to jump in there, but I just wanted to say quickly, yeah, you can really see, the way that you talk about this and the way that you show this is the amount of passion that comes from this project. You really do care much for this project. You haven't just thought, oh, well, it's a story for the sake of story. You've like, well, I was inspired by Gremlins, which I saw this, and then the way that you speak, man, is such an amazing thing. So like, I can really see the passion coming from you, and that really helps me think, well, this is going to be, if the amount of passion that he's putting into this, just imagine the amount of passion he's actually putting behind the scenes.
Yeah, we're working hard on the next chapter and part. So that's we're talking to a couple of different toy companies at the moment, and an animation studio that contacted us, and that's basically all I can say right now. But it's very fun to see everybody has like a really good reaction to the whole project. And that's always like good to see, because we were of course very enthusiastic about it, but sometimes I'm enthusiastic about something and the rest of isn't. So it's good to see the community that we built in the last half year, that they are vibing with the project. So I love all the stuff our holders are doing on Twitter, and sharing ideas and stuff like that. And that's yeah, it's really it's inspiring for us as well, because
Yeah,
it gives us energy to continue.
yeah.
Not that we needed it, but it's good
No,
to have
I know completely what you mean.
those,
I mean,
those,
you
those
already
stuff.
have the energy there, don't you? You take that energy that they're giving to you, that amount of passion that the community gives back to you, just really just fuels you up with jet fuel. It really does send you going.
Yeah, but we have, when we started designing all the trades and all the stuff to generate the kaijus. There a lot of stuff is that we say, oh, we need a helmet like this, or can we do this and stuff, and then we always looked, are we getting into legal trouble with this stuff? And because there's a fine line between, if you have like you say, okay, this is inspired by this cartoon or this character,
Yeah, yeah,
and if you go too far, you get sued. So that was not really that what we want. But it's a lot of stuff that we thought was fun ourselves, that we just added in, and also internal jokes and stuff like that. So
yeah.
that's always fun if you can put your own stuff that you like into a project, and we are very blessed that we have the opportunity now.
No, I mean, you really do. I mean, you really have been blessed, man, and blessed not by just the community, but blessed the fact that you already had all this, man. You had all this in you, But to have the opportunity to go down this, it's amazing, and I really do feel, man, like the vibe that you're telling me here, because at the end of the day, like when I'm sat there and I'm just thinking of like even the smallest intricate details, I'm like, some part of me's like, yeah, I'm so excited to be dropping this. I'm so excited to be, even this podcast, man. Like this podcast is a passion project again for me. When I came up with the idea of this podcast, I was just sat there one day and I was like, what could I be? What could be really like groundbreaking? What's not been done before? What have we not done? And it's like, what have we not seen? And it's like, we've got metaverse podcasts, and we've got podcasts in the metaverse. But what don't we have? We don't have a metaverse podcast in the metaverse. It sounds so simplistic, but when I came up with that idea, I had no idea of any other metaverse podcasts like in the metaverse, I still don't think I can find any. Like I actively do search, because I love breaking new grounds and breaking new things, and I can't wait to see the audience reaction when I'm doing something, and to have another guest on, it really makes me happy to see, man. This what we would like to do, not just what we do as in like Psychokitties, but what we do as an NFT community combined, is absolutely amazing. The evolution of NFTs is absolutely insane. I mean, we went from having just art to having utility, to having real life events, to having this, to having that, which is obviously utility, but it just flows in. They have pay to earn, you have play to earn, sorry, you have all these different things, and you have all these different aspects. It's absolutely insane how the evolution of NFTs, and this comes from the fact that everyone's pushing to do new things, and it's just amazing. And one thing that I saw in your project was that you're not just focusing on yourselves, but you're helping the whole of the crypto.com community. You know, in your first mini game, we had Psychokitties, loaded lines, we had alpha bots, we had, I could be wrong, but if I'm missing you out, I'm sorry. I'm just thinking on the ones that I remember seeing, and it's
Yeah, we had like I think in total we had like 25 projects integrated into the game, and
yeah,
that was also it was fun to do because we for every partnership we build like new relations, and if we vibed with the project and we said okay this is fun, then we said okay we can add you guys into the game if you like.
yeah.
Um, so that was good because they shared the game too in their communities. So it was like a real
It was benefiting both of you. Yeah, it was.
yeah,
It
correct.
was the best of both. It was a win-win situation. I mean, and who doesn't want that opportunity? I mean, you're an absolutely amazing. Sorry, I'm gonna have a cough. But no, I mean it's absolutely amazing to see the level of intensity you have in your project. I mean the how far you're pushing with this, man. And one thing that I always wanted to do, and I'm still aiming to do once we have finished what I'm currently working on, which is the art gallery, which is soon to be released. So I didn't want this art gallery to be only crypto.com. I mean Psychokitties in it. I wanted the whole of crypto.com to be have their input into this. So I have all these. I believe it's like 989 art pieces in the main hall itself, and each there's like 11 stories. And the actual design of the building, it is designed to look like a pencil, and like with a tip at the end. I'll have to show. We'll show sneak peeks at some point in time. I might even put it in this podcast, but in that, and then with inside the layers of the building is the crypto.com logo. And when I was thinking of this, I was like, wouldn't it be so cool to see like a loaded lion statue just gazing upon you when you were coming in? Or you know, now when I originally created this, the guy hadn't you hadn't even made your release yet, or even information about your release. I started this project a while ago, and now I'm sat here thinking, well, this is going to be amazing because to see like a giant kaiju just stood there looking upon you. Because how I wanted to do this, I want to give the communities like a fight almost for like who's going to be wanting to put their stuff in there this time. Obviously, Psychokitties will take priority because it's the project that we're in. But I love crypto.com and I love the crypto.com projects, and I really want to put projects in there that I care about. You know, I've got Easter eggs of alpha bots, I've got Easter eggs of load lines, and I'm definitely going to be having Easter eggs of kaijus somewhere in there. But you'll have to wait and see because I'm trying my best not to talk too much because I love to see people's initial reactions without telling them about it. You know, I don't want people getting one idea and then they see it and like, well, this is not what I expected, so maybe I don't like this anymore. But I want people to really just imagine the level of intensity I've been putting into this. And one thing that I've been working on with another guy is I want to make a Psychokitty Metaverse universe, but it's not just evolved around just the Psychokitties, but the whole of crypto.com. It's like a Disney World of crypto.com projects, and you can go to these different theme parks. And this is something that we've been working on in the behind the scenes, and it's going to take some time to do it because we're not doing it like any of the other metaverses. We're really wanting to make this into a massive metaverse, and something that's going to be extremely beautiful while also having all these fun elements that you want to see in a metaverse, not just for the VR users but for the PC users and even the phone users. Yes, we even want to have phone users inside our metaverse, and we believe we're designing it on Unreal Engine, and a big part of that has been me learning the new processes of Unreal Engine. Every engine's a bit different, but I can just imagine just like how cool it would be just maybe a year, 2 years from now, you're just in like a bar playing darts with a kaiju and a Psychokitty and an alpha bot and a loaded line, and they're all just having like a game of pool or something, or they're doing like some sort of activity, just like Wii Sports within a metaverse. Like it's intense to think, but how far we want to go into this, it's crazy. A big part of us is the psychedelic aspect, and I really wanted to create this to be environment where you could almost like Alice in the Wonderland, you know, you can completely trip out without even needing to be tripping out, if you know what I mean. Yeah, so I mean that seeing that from you, to see that incorporation of the other crypto.com projects really shows that you care, and I think that's one of these key elements that you really want to see in a project. I know we've spoken on a few of the elements that you want to see in a project to show that if it's committed, if it's going to go places, if it's what it's aiming to do, and you have got those commitments. You've got a long-term plan. You've got all these elements. You know, you've got your storyteller. You've got your storytellers, you've got your game developers, you've got your artists, you've got your toy makers. I mean, it's absolutely insane. Your project is absolutely, and I'm not just saying this. Like I've sat here coming to this like knowing that you were a great project, but coming out of this podcast, coming like later into this, I'm like, wow, this really, I didn't know about half this stuff, man, and really to hear about this, it does blow my mind, and it makes me even more sad that I didn't get the 25 points and was able to mint on crypto.com. And I'm just like, but I will join in. You can guarantee that I will be joining in right after this podcast.
Thank you for the kind words. I really appreciate it. And it's been a rocky journey for us as well. I mean, like you said in the beginning, the golden days of the NFTs are like last year, and those are definitely behind us. So the market was quite a bit rougher than we had hoped in the beginning, but it was also more mature. So
Yeah.
I wasn't really that mad because like what you said, I think the whole Web3 space is still very much in its infancy.
Oh, very much.
I'm quite old, so I grew up during the beginning of the internet itself, and
The World Wide Web.
yeah, but and I see a lot of similarities in that time, and there is like a lot of innovation, a lot of outside people not understanding what is going on and being judgmental, which is okay. I mean, there were like literally Nobel Prize winners that said, "Oh, the internet is just gonna fade away real soon, and it won't be as impactful as the fact machine or something like that."
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and the stuff that we did in the beginning with building websites in 1995, that was, if you take a look at the stuff that's being done on the internet now with streaming and e-commerce and stuff like that, that wasn't even you wasn't even thinking about that. It was already cool to have like a company logo and a couple of pictures, and that was the website. So I think the stuff that we're doing now with NFTs is basically if like I say, if we look at this in 10 years, then we're just gonna laugh about it
Yeah,
and just
we
say,
really are.
this was stupid what we did in those times. But that was basically the first stuff that we did, and we started out with JPEGs, and now we people expect a lot more utility, and like you said, real life events. And I see like a lot of bigger brands, what they call Web2 brands, like Starbucks and Disney. They are very carefully exploring the Web3 space,
Yeah.
and setting it up as a loyalty program, which is like a step further than what's being done right now. So that's basically very interesting, and the all this stuff moves much quicker than it did like at the beginning of the internet or the beginning of the Web 2 space, because every stuff that everyone learned during those days is getting implemented now. So yeah,
No.
like I say, it's very much in its infancy, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm happy I'm in this space, and I'm
Yeah.
really looking forward to seeing what is going to be done in 10 years time.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like I always say this in Twitter Spaces, but the amount of billions, and I mean billions, that have been sunk into Web3. I mean, not just from Meta alone, which have sunk in hundreds of billions. I mean, to the point where they're even not making profits anymore. Because they want everyone to own an Oculus. They're selling these Oculus Quests, for example, the Quest 2s, for no profit at all. They want people to have this because at the end of the day, this is the future of the spaces. I mean, the world is changing as we speak. I mean, it's needed that we need to go into this. The world's getting hotter if we haven't noticed. The heat waves we've recently noticed. The whole climate is completely changing around us, which is going to force us more inside. And Web3 is going to become bigger and bigger. I mean, Mark Zuckerberg said it, and I know a lot of people. Mark Zuckerberg's a robot. He probably is a robot, but robots know stuff, and he knows what's going on. And at the end of the day, we can clearly see that we're going to see more and more automated robots taking part of our industry jobs and this sort of stuff, but more Web3 jobs will be opening up, more Web3 stuff will be opening up. Web3 is going to be more and more impacted. Right now, we see in NFTs, in crypto alone, we only see about 5% of the world, 10% at most, of the world getting involved in NFT, in crypto. And if those people that are involved in crypto, only 1% to 5% of them are actually involved in NFTs. So we are very much in our infancy. It's forever growing, and then we're getting more and more attention. Whether that attention be or just people making memes on NFTs or because a lot of people just don't actually understand NFTs, and there's a lot of projects out there that really do give NFTs a bad rap. It's inevitable that most NFTs projects will fail not because of the commitment that the community's given to them, but the commitment that the project's given to them. And these projects that we get on our podcast, these projects that we see, these are the projects that are not going to be doing that. These are the projects that we believe in, we completely believe in, and I'm willing to go all the way. We're forever evolving. And if we got to take different routes, we got to take different routes. One thing we're doing over here with Psychokitties is we're adopting more into the brand, less of the NFT, but the brand. And everyone who takes part in the NFT is inevitably part of that brand. And the brand is such a easily more marketable way to people that I just don't understand this NFT world, because and we can separate ourselves from all these FUDs and all this other stuff, because we want to move into something that's going to be bigger than ourselves. We have a goal, and if you have that long-term goal and you work towards that, I mean, we've still got 6 months to 7 months before our game's even released, and that just shows like we want to be going somewhere we want the longevity with this, and the longevity will come. And with your project, I mean, it's great to see that you've got all this game development and all this other stuff, because you can easily adopt into just the game company. You could become a massive game company from the NFT itself, the initial funding coming from that. And I'm sure every one of your holders will be benefiting from this, because the same with the Psychokitties will be benefiting from the brand, because at the end of the day, it is the original holders of these NFTs are almost like the original investors, like the people that are putting the original money in. They will not be forgotten about, especially the way that you speak on your community. It really is true to that. I mean, the way that you are forever evolving, man. It is forever evolving, and at the end of the day, we all take inspiration from other things, but to see the NFTs that this community Crypto.com has been producing, it's amazing. And aren't we all just happy that it's just not another rape?
Oh, but like you said, that they are almost like investors, but that's exactly how I see our holders. They in my mind, they are like mini investors slash shareholders.
Yeah.
And it's also it shows that the brand that you talk about, that there's like that people resonate with the brand, be it like Kajiu Legends or Psychokitties, because you have like a community, and if you want to convince people outside of the space that there's a market for it, then you just point out and say, look, that we can set up a collection that's sold out. We are selling merchandise, and we are increasing the revenues for our holders, and
Yeah.
the floor price is going up. Then you already have proven that there's a market in this like tiny echo space
Yeah.
of Web3, and if you are basically going from outside of the Web3 space, then the market is bigger, and you can have like the same results there if you are putting in the same amount of work and get the right partners and stuff like that. So and that's basically for us. It's like something that we want to do. And with breaking out of the Web3 space, we also get a lot of more value in for our holders.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
basically just like a Nasdaq company wants to create value for their shareholders. That's basically how I see it as well.
Yeah, I mean that's completely what I wanted to hear from you, man. And like I didn't want to speak on you, and that's why I didn't say for that. But you know, we do see it, and I'm glad you share that opinion, man. That they are the shareholders at the end of the day, and the people that put this initial money in, they're initially going to feel all the benefits when this gets more and more money from the brand itself. You know, because at the end of the day, we're going to see people. We're going to see a lot more income come in from moving to a brand. We're going to see a lot more income from doing other adventures. And where does that in money go? It goes back to the original holders, because we're going to be providing even more utility for them, more things for them, more holidays, more things. Obviously, the utility varies on the project, but and I don't want to speak on your utility, but obviously it's amazing to see that you share that belief that they are the shareholders at the end of the day. Like I originally got into NFTs and into Psychokitties, as an investor, and then I got that involved in it. And I was like, you know what, you might as well just hire me, because I'm going to continue to work regardless. And that is the case. You know, we are forever pushing into making this work in a whole world sense. You know, like the Web3 is forever evolving, and we're forever going to see changes. We might be looking back, like you said, in 10 years from now and be like, well, this was stupid, but this was the start. At the end of the day, this was how we started, and it may have been how like the mobile phone started, you know, with an absolute giant antenna in a backpack with your phone, and you had to do your ringing, and you're like, and now you have a literal supercomputer in your hand. I mean, people really underappreciate the stuff that we're seeing. You know, how fast we're evolving is amazing. I mean, it hasn't even been a full year yet. It really hasn't. I mean, it has been a full year for the NFTs, but it hasn't been a full year for crypto.com NFTs as a whole, you know, and we are seeing evolution at an extreme rate.
Yeah, but I think crypto.com is doing like a very good job
Amazing.
um, on bringing NFTs to a larger audience, because like what you said, what you already said, you have only like 5 to 10% of the world's population is doing something with crypto, and it's even less with NFTs. So I had a lot of buddies of mine that they are basically are very much into crypto, but not in NFTs. And they were like, okay, I want to support you. How do I set this up? And I said, okay, just go make a crypto.com account, and that's basically the
Yeah.
easiest way to get into the NFTs, because they make it real easy for someone that's not really tech savvy but wants to go into NFTs
Mhm.
to go into NFTs.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing that they are doing, and they are opening the market for more people. So I can only applaud that.
Yeah, and I mean, it's going back to the crypto. I mean, like, we crypto for still gets a lot of hate. You know, still people are like, haha, crypto's dropped in price so much, you've lost so much. And I'm like, you really don't understand when I got involved, do you? Like, crypto has not dropped at all. Bitcoin is still at a rate higher than it was 2 years ago or a year ago. It's still for it growing, you know, just because it went down quite a significant amount doesn't mean it went into a loss. It's still beat inflation. If you kept your money into crypto through the inflation, you would have pretty much beat the inflation, because it stayed very much the same as currencies were inflating massively. I mean, one thing I did, I put a lot of my actual funds into US dollar coin and USDT because I saw it as a stable currency, and I also put a good portion of that into crypto.com coin and Cro, or what are we calling it, Kronos. It's the name's changing. Like I said, I've been in it since MCO, but you know, to have that ability to do that it just shows to you like how useful crypto is. I mean, I actually made money during inflation while everyone else's currency was dropping, because I'd put it into USDT, which in turn followed the US dollar, but the pound actually was falling even faster than the dollar. I just put it into the dollar, and then when the dollar started dropping, I put it into Cro, and then when I put it into left it in Cro. And I mean, I have complete belief in Cro to go far higher than it is right now, far higher. And you know, the ways that they're pushing is amazing, and it's amazing to be part of that community. And going back to the NFTs, this is we can relate this again to NFTs. NFTs are still, even though the price will drop, look at the way that they've dropped to the dollar cost average. If you dollar cost average it, you really haven't lost as much as you would think you have, because a lot of people will see it as, oh, I spent this much pounds on it, or I spent this many dollars on it, and look at it, how much it's worth now in pounds to dollar. Well, actually, if you imagine it as if you bought it in Cro and now you sell it in Cro, you've actually got a lot more Cro than you would have had if you bought it back then. You know, when these NFTs came out, or NFTs came out, you know, you look at Cro's moving all the time. You can get way more Cro for your money, and that's the great thing with NFTs. NFTs is just another asset that you can hold your money in, and you can either hold it there to wait for crypto to drop, or for another crypto to drop, or you can hold it there for the utility that you get from it. And you know, I do best of both worlds. I like to involve myself in both the dollar cost averaging and also the utility aspects of NFTs, because a lot of these NFTs you can get a lot of utility from. I mean, it really is amazing, and to see that in NFTs, and to see how NFTs can keep getting better and better and better. You know, NFTs will continuously get evolve, and I don't think there will be a limit to how much it can evolve. The only thing that limits it is the technology, and technology is getting better. So unless we go into a dark age sometime soon, pray to Jesus we don't. But you know, when we should be completely fine.
Oh, but sometimes I just buy an NFT for supporting the artist.
Oh, well, completely. Yeah, I mean, I'm just on about our types of NFTs currently right now, you know, the utility style NFTs, but completely agree with that. I mean, when I first got into NFTs, I didn't even know about utility. I didn't even understand utility. I just bought it because I was like, oh, wow, this is some cool art. This is some really cool stuff. And I saw Ugonzo's art, and I saw Genius's art, and I was like, well, this is some really amazing stuff. I saw, at the end of the day, I'm investing into this artist. You know, I believe this artist is going to go somewhere. I believe in this artist's art. I like this artist's art, and we all have our own interest into investing in NFTs. And so I own an AI art, for example, which is an NFT, which is another crypto.com project, and the AI art is forever evolving. I mean, it's AI. It's getting smarter and smarter and smarter, and I love it to see how great it is. I mean, I've even been watching recently some videos of like it's like a song, and like for every line in a song, they'll put it into a AI art generator, and then it will generate a piece of art from that line. For example, I've been watching Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody. It's like, I'm just a poor boy, nobody wants me, and it will pull up this beautiful piece of art, and I mean, it's absolutely insane. I mean, I'm almost like, wow, I'm stunned. Like I am stunned when I watch it, and
I need to check it out.
It's amazing, man. It really is some good stuff. So yeah, completely. Whatever you find your reason for investing, I think there's so many reasons for it. You know, I'm much more of the a lower income investor, so I invest trying not just from the art but from other things now as well. But there is people out there that just want to invest just surely on the art, and that's completely fine, and I completely understand that. I've done it myself many times, but you these days you do have to worry, well not worry, think about the NFT that you're investing in, and we have to think about the people we get on this podcast, because at the end of the day we initially are promoting you, even if our intention is not to promote but just to talk. We are initially promoting you, and we only want to promote the best NFT projects here. You know, we only want that. We've had so many people come in like, oh, can we jump in this podcast? Can we do this? I'm like, I really would love for you come on the podcast, but I only want to put people on this podcast that we truly believe in, and this is truly you truly are a project that we believe in. Hand on heart, we believe in it completely. So. I mean, there's not much more I can say on that, man. You've done some great work so far, and I'm really excited to see what comes from you.
Yeah, like I said, thanks again for the kind words, and I'm excited as well, because I can share a lot of the stuff that we're currently the companies that we're talking to, and the stuff that we got prepared. But it's yeah, like I said, one of the missions is to make it like a global brand, and I'm optimistic for the future, let's say.
No, 100%. I know you're feeling right now, because there is so many things that we're working on behind the scenes, and we just can't talk on these, you know, like. And that's a great thing, because you could easily be like, oh, we've got this, we've got that, we've got this, but that at the end of the day isn't a good sign. Like, if an NFT project's starting to just tell you everything that they're doing, it's probably because they're not 100%. They're not, like, they're just trying to get as much hype as they can. They're not trying to build hype, but you're not trying to do that. You're telling us that you have got these things, but we can't talk on these things. If you were a project that only cared about building hype, building this, getting more revenue pulling in, then you would just be like, oh, well, we've got this company working for us, we've got this company working for us, we've got this company, but you're not, and that's really great to see, man, because that's something that we share. It's really hard, and it's sometimes almost frustrating to, like, because you really want to tell everyone, but then you're like, no, we're going to ride this through, because at the end of the day, things sometimes do fall through, and it happens all the time. It doesn't mean it's not necessarily going to happen. It just means sometimes things will fall through, things take longer, and it's not good to get people's hopes up for something and then be like, oh, well, it couldn't turn out that this worked, but we're going to go down this route avenue, because it does put people upset. It upsets people, and it gets people demotivated. But that's not what we're aiming to do here. We're aiming to keep a nice smooth level of happiness and overall just happiness in the project that you're investing in, because it truly is amazing to see. Like,
yeah, I think if I learned one thing in this whole journey with crypto, I've met with Kajiu Legends, is that things always will take longer than that you want, and we tend not to overpromise. So everything that we announced on the roadmap and in Twitter Spaces and stuff like that is stuff that is basically doable for us. We have bigger goals, but we only will announce this stuff when it's basically set in stone. That we can achieve it, and so if we are going to announce a partnership with a toy company or something like that, then the contracts have already been signed and the NDAs have been signed and stuff like that. So it's that all the stuff that we promised so far we have delivered. So that's and I think that's basically the community appreciates it, but it's also like a hungry monster, the community, so it needs to be fed constantly.
No, 100%, and I couldn't agree more, man. Like, it is amazing to hear these things come from you, man, because this is completely how we see it as well. And you know we only want to give what we can give, you know, at the end of the day. And if there is times where we're like, oh, it's been a bit of a delay, it hurts us more than you can ever imagine. You know, a lot of people will be sat there like, oh, well, you're just living the benefits. You've got but you really don't understand how much if you really are truly passionate about your project, which I can clearly see you are, and we are, you truly do feel that pain when you have to delay something, and you're like, oh, man, it can cause a lot of issues, you know, man. I've had moments where I'm just sat there almost crying to myself, like, God damn it, I just wanted to fucking bring this out just on this day, but why does it have to be delayed? And you know, it happens, man. It's life at the end of the day. We can never. It's unexpected. Unexpected things can happen. Anything could happen, you know. But as long as you know and are aware of that, and you know that you don't want to overpromise, and you always under promise and then over value. What's the word? You always over deliver.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great sign. A great sign, man. But I wanted to quickly jump onto this, I guess, because it's something that we do on this podcast. So yeah, man, it's absolutely amazing being talking to you, and like I've learned so much from this episode. I mean, it really has been great to talk on your project, because your project shares so much with me. Like, really does share. The gaming side is again my main focus on this, because I absolutely love the how you're implementing that, and gaming is it's inevitably just everyone likes gaming at the end of the day, whether that's playing Scrabble or it's playing a whole year's worth of World of Warcraft. There's so many ways we can enjoy gaming, and chess. You know, I'm not going to name all the examples I'm about to, but you know, it's amazing to hear from you and to hear about your project, and I can really see from what we've spoke about that this is going to be a real good show. How can I even say that? You know, a good show, a good. We're gonna be seeing a lot more from you. I tell you that. That's all I can really say, man. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
almost lost for words.
Yeah, no, we were very happy to be on this podcast, and I enjoyed it very much. So that was always fun, and it's cool to talk about the Kajiu Legends project, but also like NFTs and crypto in general, and even have like a quick sidestep to World of Warcraft and Warhammer. So it's all the stuff I love talking about. We talked about, so that's always good.
No, I mean, that's the part of it, you know. That's the fun part, you know. A lot of we really do want to show the true side, not just like the project itself. We want to show that yourself, and you know, if we can show like what you're interested in, we can talk about that. We can show like when you're giving true passion and when you're not giving true passion. I can say throughout this has been the most beautifully podcast. I'm not, by the way, I'm not talking bad on any other podcasts. Love all the podcasts, but I can't lie, this is the one reason why I wanted to host this, because I share so much of the same passion as what you're pushing, man. It's amazing, and I really I can't wait to see some more from you.
Yeah, I'm glad that I didn't disappoint.
Well, you know what? I was sort of thinking that I'm joking, but at the end of the day, man, it is really great to have you on, and I always struggle with the ending part because I never want it to end. But I guess that is what we call it, and the end to our podcast, guys. I mean, we've had some great moments on here, and some. I'm sure you will be hearing more from this in a later date. You know, this is, you know, something that we'll be following up on, and wow, really great to talk about this. But guys, I know you've been listening for some time, and I'm going to wish you all a good evening and a good morning and a good afternoon, good night, because I don't know where you are in the world, but I'm sure you're having a good day. And if you're not having a good day, just drop me a message and I'll make your day better. And I hope I've made your day a little bit better anyway. So yeah, thank you for listening.
Yeah, cheers.
All right. And I'm back. How are we doing? It's me again. Always great to see you. I'm sure you loved that interview. It was an absolutely pleasure to record. Like I said, Roel, you're an amazing guy, and the true passion you show for your project really does show. We see that in the interview, and I'm sure you saw he truly does have a passion for this project. And yeah, I have complete faith in this project. You know, it's an amazing thing, and they are really pushing the boundaries as what we want to see for a game in NFT. Yeah, I guess it's a giveaway time, but I bet you've all been waiting for it. I bet you're excited for it. But yeah, I'd like to do a big thank you because obviously these 5 Kajiu Legends are being given away by the man himself, Roel Weber, and his team. I say Weber because German W's, but I could be wrong. It's Dutch. He is Dutch, so it could just be Weber. But we'll find out when I get a message saying you fucked up my name. Anyway, the giveaway. Now we're going to be what I did. So if you weren't already aware how these giveaways work, is we do a Twitter giveaway. And to enter, you just have to do the Twitter, and we'll get all that information. We'll then take that, put it into a Twitter picker, and get 30 names, which is for all the 30 prizes. Those 30 names will then be put onto a spin the wheel, which will pull up on screen over here. Yeah, and we'll pull up on screen. And what we do is we will then spin the wheel, and then the prizes. So the prizes are going to go as followed. We're going to go as the 5 Kajiu Legends. We're going to then do the 3 personal art gallery rooms, and then we're going to do the rest of the prize, which is the art gallery room templates. If you're not already aware, you do need to be a Psychokitty holder to win on the art gallery personal rooms. It might also be the templates as well, but I'll have to check on my rules. I can't even remember the own rules I set. So we're going to start this giveaway, I just want to let you know, I wish Roel was here to do this giveaway with us, and I'm sure he wishes to as well. But for the time being, you're unlucky enough to have me, so let's do this. And we are going to start the giveaway with our first spin, and we will find out who the winner is of our first Kajiu Legend. We have Ziyang. Well done, Ziyang. You are the winner of our first Kajiu Legend. Well done, Ziyang. Thank you very much, Ziyang. All right, let's get this going. Spinning on the roll. Bam. Let's go. Wow. Who we got next? Oh, is it? It's Jussie17. Jussie17, congratulations, Jussie17. You are our next winner. Wow. You are a winner of a Kajiu Legend. Thank you, Jussie. And let's go. The next. Energetic today, guys. Wow. Straight off the bat, we're going with another powerful name out there. I'm going to try this one. Atifia NFTs. Atifia NFTs. Congratulations, you're our winner of our third Kajiu Legend. And we are going to move right on to the next person. Thank you very much. Just so you know, if you are a winner, you will be messaged directly. You do not need to worry about contacting us. No way. The man, the myth, the legend. I cannot believe it. Jason Trades, a newborn father and a great member of the Psychokitty community. Wow. I guess you've won. I didn't see. You know what? It happens sometimes. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. Congratulations, Jason. You are our winner of our fourth Kajiu Legend. And for the fifth and final Kajiu Legend, are you ready? We are going to roll it up. And who we got? On our fifth Kajiu Legend, we have Axel Andrew Alfie. Well done, Axel Andrew Alfie. That is AAA. If you need help, call Axel Andrew Alfie. Congratulations, Axel Andrew Alfie. You are the winner of our fifth Kajiu Legend in our final. Okay, moving on to the next prize, we are going to the free personal art gallery rooms. You must be a Psychokitty holder. If you are not, this giveaway will be redone on Twitter for anyone that received the prize, who won and couldn't actually take the prize. Jefferson Brewman, as long as you hold a Psychokitty, Mad Hair Society, or Psycho Molly, you are the winner. So that makes you a personal art gallery room holder. So congratulations, you are the second person in the world to own a personal art gallery room in the art gallery. Let's move on to the next. Phew. Right, what we got? Stand to pass my time. Kronos Promos. And now that is a surprise. We have Kronos Promos. You know, even though they are technically a business, or at least an entity, they still entered the giveaway, and we are going to validate that. You better be a Psychokitty holder, Kronos Promos, or you better make sure you own a Psychokitty, or at least, because you have just won a personal art gallery room to the Metaverse Art Gallery. Next, we go. Hit you with that one. Hit you with that one. Hit you with that one. Congratulations, you are the winner of our third personal art gallery room. As long as you want a Psychokitty. Okay. Well, I suppose they're all winners of the 22 gallery templates. Oh yeah, I don't suppose we need to spin. There's 22 names there. In fact, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. There's 22 names there. So technically, 22 winners. I mean, we could spin the wheel, but, we don't want to waste your time here, guys. That will probably take us about 5-10 minutes. So, yeah, congratulations. You are the winners. I'm going to read your names out. The real Corby Carrot 8, also known as Morpheus, Johnny Boy, Ape NFT. Well, okay, we don't have to spin the wheel, blimmin' heck. But yeah, no. So we know who you are. And yeah, well, thank you for taking part in the giveaway. I know this is different. You're probably like, well, that was a bit anticlimactic. Why did you not add a few more people to give away? Do you know why? Because this episode is not about disappointment. This episode is about making promises and fulfilling those promises. In other words, we're just trying to be too nice. I couldn't face it, man. I hate it when we put them on the giveaway wheel and then the name's there and they don't end up winning the prize. So I just thought, this episode we're going to do things different. We've got a lot of prizes. We're just going to do 30 on the Twitter giveaway picker, and then we're going to do 30 on the spin the wheel instead of doing 30 on the 70 on the Twitter giveaway picker, and then only 30 winners from the giveaway wheel. It just felt wrong to me, my heart would burst if I saw a friend not win that on the giveaway wheel. It always does. But anyway, I suppose that concludes the interview, the intro, and the giveaway section. So you know what that means. It is the outro. Are we ready and are we excited? Because we are about to tell you, have a good mythical day, have a good mythical, I'm not saying it, you know I was going to, have a good great day, have a beautiful blessed day, night, daytime, wherever you are. It's going to be some time in the day, and I'm sure you're having a great time. If you're not, well, you can always give me a message and I can always try and brighten your day. Or just remember, stay feisty, stay positive, and stay psycho. Also, don't forget about the big anniversary event coming up soon. Be excited, because there's a lot to come. All right, I've been your host, Vinny Calora. Have a beautiful, blessed day, and keep awesome, keep cool, keep psycho. And also, if you're mad hair, keep mad. Been peace, love you, great talking to you. I've been your host, Vinny Calora. Lots of love. Goodbye.